Should feel nice and warm already. All right, so get your foam roller out. Wanted to show you real quick, I've got 4 here at the house, so there's plenty more available, but this one is just smooth, but it is a harder density, so there's something even softer than this. It's actually more like the pool noodle, like it kind of gives and compresses a bit more than this one. So if you're just kind of new to this, that's the one that you want to get, a much softer one, so you know your tissue quality can have just sort of a slow ramp up time to improving. So that's I would say level 1. This next one is the trigger point therapy. See all the little grids? So this would be next. So all those little grooves kind of help push up in between the fascia and muscle fibers and just break up any adhesions in there or scar tissue. I prefer this one, but I'm going to show you 2 more, and it kind of depends on which area of the body you are foam rolling. And if you've got a really stubborn area and it's a large, like a mass, I say massive muscle, but just, you know, like the glutes, for instance, as opposed to your forearms. You wouldn't want to use these on those smaller muscles, but for the bigger muscles, you can. So this is the rumble roller. This one's a short one, but it's got little trigger point knobs. This one's a little bit softer. So this is blue. It's got a little bit more give. And I like this for my calves because I have just super tight calves. I don't know why. They're just always tight. So it always is a little bit tender to use this on my calves. And then lastly is the, just as a friend of mine used to call this, he said, this is the off-road 4-wheel drive foam roller because it's long, and it's just like the one I showed you previously, but these knobs are much harder, so it's like a much harder density. It doesn't compress as much when you're rolling over certain body parts, so probably most appropriate for the glutes if you've got really tight gluteal muscles. It feels okay there. You can probably handle it at some point, but again, not, you know, for forearms or just some of those smaller muscles. Inner thighs, definitely IT band, no, don't want to do that. So just thought I would share those with you. I think at one time I mentioned the bigger rumble roller, and then I never did show it to y'all. So get your roller out, and let's just go through a quick little soft tissue tutorial using this thing. So I'm going to start on the glutes, about 10 passes back and forth across a span of muscle. Just kind of depends on how you feel as you are rolling across, but you can kind of be in this continuous motion if you like, or if you find a spot that's very tender, hot spot we call it, then just hang out, stay there and breathe, and try to consciously relax that muscle, because initially your reaction is to probably, you know, tense up away from it like, ow. Don't bug me like that. But you want to try and relax to let the foam roller push up in there and just release. I mean, it's exactly what a massage therapist does when they find knots in your body. If you've ever had a massage, they'll get in and zero in with their thumbs or the heel of their hand or their elbows. So I'm just going literally from the very tops of my hamstrings across the glutes towards the very top of the hamstrings where they kind of insert into the low back. So here you've got to engage your core. So a little side bonus of foam rolling is you get a little core strengthening because you have to keep your abs pulled in. All right, and then you can just kind of swing a little bit. It's almost like you're trying to shift the hips side to side as you're going back and forth across it. So that might feel good for you. Another option is to just rock and roll the knees from side to side like that. So you're kind of rolling onto the outer edge of your glutes, that glute medius muscle. Every now and then it'll kind of start going off your mat, so you got to reposition it. Especially the smaller one, it's easier to kind of get off track. The longer ones, not so much. That's the benefit of that. But I like this particular foam roller for several reasons. I do like the grid pattern in there, but I also like that it's hollow. and you can pack it in your suitcase and just stuff all your socks and underwear in there or whatever, so it's not taking up a whole lot of space. All right, so from here, let's do the hamstring. So sit back behind it, and then you're going to park it right underneath your knees. This is going to take some upper body strength. Roll up to the tops of the hamstrings and then down to the knees. Again, abdominals have to be a little bit engaged. Upper body muscles working hard to hold you up. If you want more pressure, then just cross one leg over, and then you're getting the one hamstring, and then you can switch. If it's too hard for you to hold yourself up, set a foot down and let this leg do some of that work holding you up. So it's not as much stress on the shoulders and on the arms. And when you're doing one leg at a time, you can roll your leg outwards like that, kind of hitting a little more of that outer portion of those hamstrings, and then kind of roll in that way, almost getting those inner thighs. That feels really good. And whatever you do on one side, just make sure you kind of even it up, doing the same amount of rolling on the other. How y'all doing? Wish I could see you. Wish I could hear you. It's not fair. I have a niece that lives in Chicago, and she owns a Pilates studio. I want to try to get her on one of the Tuesday Pilates classes with me as a guest. There's a way to, it's another thing to figure out, technology, but there is a way to have kind of like two people broadcasting at once on this live thing. But she's been teaching Zoom classes, and she said it's just so weird in your own living room by yourself talking to your phone. So I said, I can relate. At least on Zoom, she can see the little boxes with people there. They're muted, but at least she can see them. I said, I can't even see people. All right, let's do calves. So from the ankles up to the backs of the knees. This is actually a Pilates move. It's a reverse plank. So doing it on the foam roller here, kind of a nice way to, again, hit two birds with one stone. Get a little core, ab, arm strengthening while you roll out those calves. All right, let's do the back. So sit in front of your foam roller, and then just not like right on your lower back, but maybe a little bit above where your waistband would be. Come there, and then let's just interlace the hands behind your head, lift your hips up, pull those abs in. Just roll back and forth a little bit right here, kind of from just above that waistband up towards the shoulder blades. Just notice if there's any area that's a little tight. And breathe. Let's take a big inhale breath. Exhale it out. And then let's move on up across the shoulder blades here. So up towards the neck, maybe not right on the neck, obviously, but close. Let your elbows open up so you get a wonderful stretch here through the chest and shoulders. And then you've got more of your upper back exposed onto that roller, so it can really smash up in there. And if you find a knot, and this is, boy, when I do my upper back like this, it feels as if I've got bubble wrap wedged underneath my skin, and it's just going pop, 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 pop. It's kind of almost that same satisfactory feeling when you're, popping those bubbles on bubble wrap. Just feels really good. It feels as if it's smashing out tension, and in fact it is. Those little knots sometimes represent just a sort of a collection of muscle fibers that have just kind of gotten stuck on the fascia above, or they're stuck to each other, or they're just kind of in a spasm type constriction. And you want to lengthen those muscle fibers back out. So you are stretching your muscles when you're doing foam rolling. You actually are improving your flexibility. So this goes along very well with our stretch yoga sessions, which is why I include it here. All right, what if you were to turn onto your left hip and then just very small range of motion here, kind of across the lats. So I'm not even lifting my hips up, I'm just kind of drawing my rib cage up to the ceiling and then coming back down. But really what's happening underneath here is that foam roller, it's going right across those lats. And you can roll kind of to the side. So keep your knees dropped over here to the left and then open up your chest to the ceiling and then just roll back towards the front here. And then inhale, breath, open up. And then exhale, roll over. One more time, inhale. And then exhale, roll over. Good, and then let's just do that on the other side. So you're on your right hip, knees kind of together over there on the right. And then just initially imagine lifting your rib cage upwards and then down, upwards and then down. So you're going right across those lats. That muscle, it attaches up in the shoulder and comes all the way down into the mid to low torso, around on the back side. And then you can roll open, so chest faces the ceiling. Inhale, breath. And then exhale, roll back over to the right as if you're closing the elbows together. Do it again. Inhale, open up. Exhale, roll over. One more time. Inhale, breath, open. This should feel really good on your lower back as well. And then exhale, roll over. All right, and then let's come up. And real quick, we'll do the front side of the body, and then we'll go into some stretches. So place the foam roller in the middle of your mat in front of you, and then just park your kneecaps slightly in front, hands out here, and just roll right across the fronts of your shins. So this is your anterior tibialis muscle. So every time when you're walking, you don't think about it because it's just so automatic, but every time you take a step, you've got to pick your toes up like that to set your foot down. Otherwise, you would have what's called foot drop and you just drag it and you would trip. So you're always having to work that anterior tib muscle there on the front. So it's a high endurance muscle. It probably is loving this if you are able to roll across the fronts there. Now, if you're super, super skinny and you don't have hardly any meat and it just feels like you're on bone, then maybe come a little bit kind of on the side for one leg and then just kind of a little more on the side for the other. I know there's some people that just don't have a lot of meat on their lower legs. That's never been a problem of mine. I've always had very large calves. It's a genetic thing. So we should just be happy for whatever body we have. We were made wonderfully, fearfully, right? All that wonderful stuff that we know to be true. You're not an accident. You're not a mistake. Nothing about your body that you should hate. I'm just talking to myself too here. All right, let's go to quads. So come into elbow plank. Let the foam roller be just above your knee caps and then stretch your legs out. And then you're going to push with your arms to roll back that way so the foam roller comes up to the tops of your quads. Don't let your back arch like that. Try to pull your abs up and in and then roll back to the front and then push back here and roll front. You can bend the knees and flex your feet. That will create a deeper stretch in the quads at the same time that you're rolling them. Good, now let's do a little bit of windshield wiper action. So you're just swinging those legs a little bit side to side like that. Ay, 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 ay. All right, and then just stretch the legs out straight. Couple more rolls here. Again, working your abdominals here because you're in that plank. Good, and then just walk the hands back into a tabletop position. You can just set that roller aside for now. and you're gonna round your back up towards the ceiling. So tuck your chin to the chest, pull your abdominal muscles up and in, point that tailbone downwards, and then let your belly drop down, lift your chin up, inhale, breath. And then exhale, breath, round again. So spread the shoulder blades apart, super straight arms, chin tucks towards your chest. Inhale, breath, belly drops, head up. And then last time, exhale, breath, rounding your spine, tucking your chin, and then pointing that tailbone down, firming in those core muscles down low. Good, and then just return to flat back. Bring your knees together, tuck your toes under and back, and then walk your hands back, not all the way to the knees, but not out there in front where we just were. So bring it in a little bit closer. So we're gonna do some torso rotation from side to side. Gotta make sure this thing doesn't fall out here. So far so good though. I'm liking this particular hiding place for it. So the hips are back. You're gonna open up your chest to the right. So stretch your right arm up, look at your hand, push down real strong through that left arm. Inhale. Exhale, breath, drop that right hand down. Let's take it to the left now. So reach the left arm up and look up, inhale. Really try to rotate that torso to the left. And then exhale, breath down. Do it again. Inhale, breath, right arm reaching up. Exhale, breath, rounding your back, pulling the abs in a little bit as you come down. And then last time this way, inhale, reach that left arm up. And then exhale, breath down. Good, now uncurl the toes. If you can, sit back on your heels. Inhale, sweep your arms up over the head. Interlace up above. Exhale as you push the palms straight up. Now, kind of lift the hips up and tuck the tail under and sit right back down. Continue to reach the arms straight up over your head. Inhale. And then exhale, just a little bit of a side lean over to the right, not too much yet. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, little side lean over to your left. Good. Inhale, nice and tall, lengthening your spine, look up. And then exhale, breath, open the arms out to the sides, but really pressing those arms back around behind you, chest expansion. And then interlace the fingers together, press the palms together, chest out, chin up, inhale. On the exhale breath, just roll forward, so kind of smush your belly onto your thighs, drop your forehead to the mat, and then from here, we're gonna lift your hips up and go into a nice stretch for your chest and shoulders. Slowly release, so sit right back down on your heels. As you come up, open up the arms halfway, inhale, breath. Exhale, cross that right arm under the left, make an X and then wrap it around. Inhale, lift the elbows up and away. On the exhale, hips up, tuck the tail under, and then draw your elbows down towards your belly. Chin tucks to the chest. Slowly release as you come up, unwrap. Inhale, breath, arms reach up over your head, interlace, exhale, push your palms up. So those biceps are right beside your ears. Inhale, lengthening that spine up nice and tall. Now this time on the exhale, kind of shift your hips off the feet over there to the left and then side bend to the right. Turn your head to look down. Breathe. Come back up, sit on your heels, inhale, reach up. Exhale, lift the hips, kind of shift them over there to the right, side bend to the left, and then look down towards your feet. Good, inhale, breath up. Exhale, release, and then open up the arms, chest expansion there. As you interlace, do so with the opposite kind of connection there with your fingers. So reverse how you do it. Straighten your arms out, lift them away, chest out, chin up, look up, inhale. And then on the out breath, roll the belly forwards. You're gonna plant the forehead to the mat. And then as the hips go up, continue to let those arms flow over in front and just breathe. Inhale. exhale it out. Good, slowly release. Sit right back down on your heels, and as you come up, float your arms up halfway. Inhale here. Exhale, this time it's left arm under right, bend, and then wrap it all around. Push those elbows up and away, inhale. On the exhale, lift the hips, tuck the pelvis under. Now we draw the elbows down towards the belly button, tuck your chin to the chest. Good, now slowly come back up, unwrap, and then inhale, breath, arms sweep up over your head. And then exhale, relax the shoulders and elbows down here. And then up, back, and down. Once more, up, back, and down. So walk, walk, walk your hands out towards the top of the mat. You're going to straighten. I'm just going to push this down a little bit more, sorry. Straighten your legs out. Come into plank. Inhale, breath here. Exhale, stretch each calf and Achilles tendon. So it's like you're walking the dog, but you're actually in plank. So we'll just call it walk the plank. How's that? Push your heels straight back. Keep your abs strong. Keep your head in nice alignment with your spine. Think nice long lines and angles here. All right, both legs are straight. Inhale, breath. Exhale, pick up your right leg and just point your toes to the back. Inhale, there. Exhale, bend the knee and then step your foot right in between your hands there. And then you're going to drop your back knee down, uncurl your toes, come on up, and then reach your arms out and up. So inhale, breath here. You don't want to feel crunching in the low back, so if you do, maybe straighten that leg a little bit more, just kind of push and don't go back so far. You're maybe more kind of on this diagonal line there. So inhale. And then exhale, lower those arms down, push your hips back, straighten the leg, and just drop your chest over for a hamstring stretch. As you are stretching here, I want you to imagine digging your heel downwards into the mat, almost like you're trying to make a heel print. And really what that does is that activates the back side of the leg and just allows you to get a better stretch here. Good, come back up, set the foot down, bend the knee, push the pelvis forwards, head up. Inhale, breath, arms reaching up again. And then exhale, breath, lower those arms down, and then push your hips back, straighten your leg, flex your foot, and then head to knee pose here. Dig your heel downwards, inhale. Exhale out. Good, now come back up, and then let's walk this foot in a little bit closer. And as you come up, it's like 90-90. You got two 90-degree angles there, so no more kind of pushing forwards there. Hip right over the knee. So what I want you to do is float your left arm up. Inhale, breath. On an exhale, rotate your torso to the right. Take your left arm on the outside, right hand on your hip or the low back. Sort of strengthen your core as you tuck the tail under and lengthen up. Inhale. Exhale, rotate around the right. See if you can look over your right shoulder to the back. Good, now slowly release. Take your right arm up, inhale. And then exhale, take your right arm on the inside of this right leg. Maybe even wrap, if you can, the hand around the front of the shin there, just below the knee. And then left hand here, and you're kind of using this arm to open up your chest to the left. So tuck that tail under, strengthening everything in there, lengthening up, inhale. And then on the exhale, see if you can rotate around to the left, looking over your shoulder there. Don't let this knee fold in. Press it out using that arm. Slowly release back to the front. And then one more time each way. So inhale, breath, left arm comes up. Exhale, rotate around to the right. Take that left arm on the outside of your right knee. Right hand on your hip. Lift up, inhale. And then exhale, rotate that torso around. See if you can look over your shoulder to the back. Slowly release back to the front. And then take that right arm up, inhale breath. Exhale, bring your right hand inside of the knee, kind of grab a hold of the shin just below the knee, left hand here, up nice and tall, kind of tuck that tail under, strong glutes, strong core, inhale. And then exhale, push against the inside with that arm and then rotate around to the left, look over your shoulder to the back. Good, and then release back to the front. Inhale, both arms come up over your head. And then exhale, set the hands down here. Tuck your back toes under, straighten your back leg out. And then step back into plank, top of a push-up. And then let's just kind of walk the plank again here, where you shift the weight back and forth from one foot to the other, getting nice deep stretch in those Achilles tendons, in your calves, and in the plantar fascia, that band of tissue right on the underneath side. All right, super straight legs, straight body, strong arms. Let's lift your left leg up, inhale. On the exhale breath, bend the knee, pull those abs up, up, up. Step right in between your hands there. Good, now drop your back knee down. Uncurl your toes. And then from here, come on up. Inhale breath, reach the arms straight up over your head. Good, lower the arms down, push those hips back so as you straighten this leg, flex your foot, and imagine digging your heel downwards into the mat, kind of making a heel print there. And as you're doing that, you're actually activating all the muscles there on the back side, mainly your hamstrings, and that's what we're trying to stretch. That's our target stretch muscle here. Good, now slowly come back up. Set those toes back down, push your hips forwards, lift your head up, and then reach those arms out and up, inhale. So you don't want to feel that pinching or crunching in your back. If so, kind of push a little bit with this leg, maybe stay more on this kind of diagonal line, it's not like you're trying to do a back bend there. So inhale, breath, lengthen. And then exhale, breath, release the arms down, straighten out that front leg. Straighten it and flex that foot and dig that heel down again into the mat as you lower the chest over. And just breathe. Good, now as you come up, you're going to walk that foot in a little bit more. Using this arm here. Good, and then slowly release back to the front. And then inhale, take your left arm up. Exhale, kind of rotate your torso to the right. Take your arm on the inside, kind of grab around that shin just below the knee, right hand on your hip, and then open up your chest. Watch that this knee doesn't roll in. You kind of have this arm here for that very purpose of keeping that from happening and maybe even opening it up more. You're going to feel a good inner thigh stretch. So look over your shoulder, inhale. Good, and then come back slowly to the front, and then inhale, take your right arm up. Exhale, turn to the left. Bring that arm on the outside of your left knee, left hand behind your hip. Think of lengthening your spine up nice and tall. First inhale, and on the exhale, push with that arm against that leg, and then rotate to look over your shoulder to the back. And kind of tuck that tailbone down. Good, and then slowly release to the front. And then one more side. Inhale, breath. Left arm goes up. exhale, place that arm there, hand here. Rotate to look over your right shoulder to the back. Press that knee open using that left arm and wrist. Inhale, breath. Good, and then slowly release back to the front. Inhale, arms reach up. And then exhale, hands come down, and then tuck your back toes under, straighten that back leg out. And then from there, step on back into plank, top of a push-up, and then walk the plank so you shift the weight back and forth, working through those toes, working through those feet. Good, and then from here, inhale, breath. And then exhale, breath. Drop your knees out wide, toes touching and back. Walk your hands out, and then drop your head and chest down into extended child's pose stretch. All right, so from there, press your palms down, lift your head up, and come on up. And you're gonna walk your knees up towards your wrists. You're gonna cross your ankles. You're gonna push yourself back to a sit. And then you're gonna extend the legs straight out in front here, and then just kind of shake, shake, shake. Kind of bounce the backs of the knees. Maybe give them a little massage if that feels good. All right, so we're gonna go into some more just rotation, torso rotation. So it's really great for releasing tension in the lower back, even in the upper back. I've just heard a lot of people lately saying that they're not necessarily lower back, but just kind of right, you know, maybe where the bra strap would go, the mid-back region feeling pretty tight. And I suspect it's just partly we're not moving as much as we previously were. And if you're, you know, reading or over your phone or over the laptop a lot more than usual, those muscles, you know, for every degree forwards you go with your head and chest and shoulders, those muscles on the backside have to work even harder to kind of sustain that position. So, you know, for 1 minute, it's not like you feel any, you know, stress, but all day long, at the end of the day, they finally just go, no, you know, and they'll go into a spasm. So we want to try to loosen all that up. So kind of push your hips forwards, slide your hands out, straighten just your left leg out, and then pull your right knee into the chest. So what you want to do is take your left hand on the outside of that knee, stretch the right arm out beside you, inhale. And then on the exhale breath, push your knee across. So we call this knee down twist. So first, just get that knee all the way to the floor. If this shoulder comes up, no biggie. We're just going to work on getting that back down towards the floor. So just relax. Don't try to force anything. So inhale breath. You might come out of it a little bit. Exhale, go back into it. Turn your head to look right. One more time, inhale, come out of it a little bit. And then exhale, drop that shoulder down. Now, while you are here, can you bend your left knee? That's the underneath leg. Can you take that right hand and maybe find something, either your pants, your heel, your foot, your toes? See if you can grab a hold of your foot. How's that feel? Now, drop your right shoulder down. Looking over your shoulder to the right, inhale, and then exhale it out. Good, now from here, just let go of your foot, and then roll back onto your back. Let's go right away into that figure 4 stretch. So this left thigh pushes against the ankle, and let's just do a couple of little pumping action moves here where you're just sort of working into that glute stretch, and then bring the legs in. Either grab foot and knee or interlace behind, and then draw your legs in. Feel that deep stretch through the glutes. Good, now just take your right leg off. Let that right leg go down. Take your right hand on the outside of your left knee. Stretch your left arm out beside you. Inhale. On the exhale breath, push your knee across for knee down twist. So let that knee go all the way to the floor. So if this comes up, don't worry about that. We're just going to slowly kind of ease that back down closer to the floor. So if you're a golfer, this is an awesome stretch. Most golfers are able to get that shoulder all the way smack dab on the floor with the knee down on this side as well. So much rotation required in the golf swing. So inhale, kind of release a little bit, turning back to the right some. Exhale, let that shoulder drop back down. Once again, inhale, release a little bit, kind of rolling over to the right just a smidge. And then exhale, breath, release. Turn your head to look over that left shoulder. And just breathe. So can you bend your right knee? That's the underneath leg. Take your left hand, see if you can find something to grab a hold of. If not, just bend the knee and hang out. But if you're able to find your foot and grab it, do so. And then just continue to press that left shoulder down towards the floor. At the same time, this right hand is pushing the left knee down. Inhale, breath. Exhale it out. And then just let go of your foot. Let that leg go back out. And then as you roll onto your back, you're going to push that right thigh up against the ankle here. And just kind of pump the legs back and forth, in and out a couple times there. Kind of easing into this glute stretch. Good. And then bring the legs in and stay. Grab the knee and the foot and maybe pull a little more. Maybe interlace behind. And then grab a hold, and as you draw the legs in, notice that wonderful stretch right here in your left glute, specifically the piriformis muscle, which is deep, deep, deep inside. And then just breathe. Long inhale. And exhale it out. Once again, inhale, breath. Long exhale, breath out. Pull it in a little closer. Good. And then just take that left leg out. Extend that left leg down. Extend the right leg down. And then big inhale breath as you extend the arms over your head. And then exhale breath, relax. Just let your whole body go limp here. One more time, bring your feet together, clasp the hands together over your head, full body stretch as you inhale. And then exhale breath, relax. Let your whole body go limp. So bend the knees, set your feet flat on the floor, and then from there, bring both knees in, hands on your shins, make a tight little ball, rock side to side, back and forth. Good, and then interlace the fingers or latch the fingertips together behind your thighs. Take an inhale breath first. And then on the exhale breath, tuck your chin and imagine bringing your forehead right up towards the knees, or even make connection if you can. And then start to push the legs into those wrists and hands and rock and roll front to back a couple times. Get a little bigger and grander and come all the way up. So from here, we're going to come up to stand, and I've got a nice little Tai Chi sequence that's kind of going along with that torso rotation theme today. So let's bend your left knee, step your right foot over, kind of like you're about to do seated yoga twist, but we're not. And then you're going to just hands on that quad, tuck your toes under and back, stand up. And then just kick your legs out, kind of shake, shake. How we feel. Okay, I'm gonna do one quick thing. My air conditioning's on and it's just too cold. We like to make it nice and warm, right? Feels good when it's warmer. Okay, so this next little Tai Chi segment, again, the posture in Tai Chi is just very relaxed, very soft with the belly, with the hips, with the legs, the knees. So before we even start to get into that, let's just try and shake off any muscular tension that might be locked up in the muscles and the joints. So just whatever it takes for you to kind of feel loosey-goosey. Maybe we should do a little hula, right? Eve's been sending me some hula classes, a girl that streams live classes, hula dancing, and it's like, I don't know if my hips can move that way, but it sure would be fun to try. All right, so stand with your feet a little bit wider maybe than hip distance apart, and then soften the knees and just kind of drop the tail down, and then shoulders back and down, kind of broaden the collarbone here, and the arms are just nice and relaxed. So we'll start with just sinking the chi. So you're going to float the arms up just to shoulder level. Inhale, breath. On the exhale breath, bend the elbows right there, fingertips almost touching, and you're going to slowly float the hands down, kind of following your hands with your eyes. And then do it again, floating the palms up and out. Inhale. Bend the elbows there at shoulder level. Exhale breath. Press those hands slowly and softly down. And then one more time. Inhale breath, floating those hands up. Exhale down, sinking the chi, relaxing the shoulders and the face, softening the belly. Good. Now from here, we're going to inhale, breath, lift up. Kind of make a diamond shape with your fingers like that. And then turn the palms out and push out and around. And as the arms drop, soften the knees, drop your hips. And let's do that again. So we inhale, breath, lifting those hands up. Right at chest level, rotate out, make a little diamond shape, and then push out and around. And as the arms lower, soften the knees, soften the belly. One more time, inhale, breath, up we go. Rotate out, exhale, push out and around and down. Good, and then come on up. So inhale, breath here in the center. On an exhale breath, just turn to look over your right shoulder. You're going to take the right hand and just kind of bring it around and bring the left hand up and touch your right shoulder. So you're sort of wrapping the arms around the body. And then as you release, open the arms out to the sides, gently inhale. And then exhale, we're going to rotate over to the left. So bring right hand up to the shoulder, left hand behind the hip, and try to really look back behind you over that left shoulder. Inhale, breath, open up. And then exhale, breath, rotating over to the right. Bring that left hand to shoulder, right hand behind your hip. Inhale, open. And then exhale, rotate over here to the left. And then one more time each side, slowly opening up. Inhale, breath. Exhale, rotate. Bring left hand to shoulder, right hand behind the back, and look over your shoulder there. Really rotate a little bit more. Slowly release out, inhale. And then exhale, rotate over here to the left. Bring right hand to the shoulder, left hand to the hip. Turn around a little bit more. Good, and then as you release, stop center. Inhale all the way up, we go to the top. And then exhale, sinking the chi. Do it again. So inhale, breath through your nose, floating those arms up slowly. Exhaling through pursed lips, slowly melt it down. How about one more? Inhale, breath, up we go. Exhale breath. So exhaling all the while, hands are floating down. Good, and then step your feet together, palms forwards. And then just a little Tai Chi bow right there. And then back up, and you are all done. Thank you so much for participating this morning. All right, let's see. What have I got to show you today? I have 2 things, actually. So I was telling you about the ginseng the other day, and they were just little bottles, little liquid bottles, and they actually come with like a little miniature straw that you just stab in the top there and drink. I don't do it that way. I end up just taking that top off, but it's a little bit of a pain, I don't know, just to get that top off. I got to use pliers, actually. It's not like you can just pull it off with your fingertips. And truly, this is the ginseng that I used that very first time I told you about my first experience with ginseng. It was actually this stuff. And this is just a little box full of packets. I think it comes in a packet of maybe 10. Yeah, 10. And they're just little packets like that. And it's just a powdered form, like dehydrated ginseng, I guess. And it works a little easier. So I actually prefer this one better than the liquid, but I just got the liquid for a switch. And then, especially on days like today where it's a little bit dreary and a bit chilly out, I love having a cup of hot tea. I don't know if you do, but that's kind of a nice little self-care regimen I think that you can do for yourself. And one of my favorite teas, of course I know everything I show you here, it's backwards because of the way the phone reverses things, but you can get an idea. But this is Celestial Seasonings, and I know everybody's familiar with that brand. Great brand. So Bengal Spice is, oh my gosh, if you like cinnamon, like remember the red hot candy as a kid? It's like that rich cinnamon oil flavor. It's just amazing, and it's naturally sweet. You don't have to even put stevia in there. It is my favorite. It is my all-time favorite tea. So if I'm ever like sick and laid up in the hospital, bring me some of this. This will make me happy. So there's a little tiger on the front, Bengal Spice. I promise you won't be disappointed. Everybody I've shared this with is just like, whoa, this is the best stuff I've ever had. So, and maybe you've had it before, but it's just, you know, you never know. There's so many choices out there. How do you know which one to get? But for me, I mean, if you really like cinnamon, just that real, it's not like any other cinnamon tea that I've ever had. I've tried many searching for something similar, but this is hands down the best. So, really put the 2 together and you're just, man, you're going to be in la la land. So Bengal Spice tea and then the powdered Korean ginseng tea. So y'all have a wonderful weekend. I will see you on Monday to do our total